Dear students, welcome you all in this online lecture of business communication using computers. Today we are going to see the first chapter. The title of the first chapter is Introduction to Business Communication. There are 5 main subtopics of this first chapter. Let's see these subtopics. The first main subtopics deals with definitions, second deals with types, third deals with principles of effective communication, fourth one deals with barriers, and fifth one deals with meanings, characteristics, and importance. So let's see the first subtopic, that is definitions. There are 3 definitions. We will try to understand these definitions. W.H. Newman defined business communication is exchanging business related different views, ideas, and news within the related parties. Ricks and Go defines business communication is a system that is responsible to affect change throughout the whole organization. And Professor J. Hest defines the communication occurs between either two or more two business people for purpose of effective organization and administrative of business than it is considered as business communication. यावरून आपण एक कन्क्लुजन काढू शकतो की जेव्हा एखाद्या बिझनेसच्या उद्देशाने जेव्हा 2 किंवा 2 पेक्षा पार्टीज एकत्र येतात तर त्यांचे व्ह्यूज, आयडियाज हे त्याच्याशी रिलेटेड असतात आणि यांची त्यांच्यामध्ये देवाणघेवाण होते. यालाच आपण बिझनेस कम्युनिकेशन असं म्हणतो. Now let's see elements of communication. There are 10 points. The first one is that sender. Whenever the communication is going on between two persons, the first person is called sender and the second person is called receiver. Sender means the person who sends the message. Then whatever the ideas, thoughts, feelings, emotions appear in his mind is called message. Third point is that encoding. Then this sender encodes. It means that he put that message into certain form. Then he dispatched the message. It means that he forward the message towards the receiver side. Receiver is the second person of the communication. Receiver means who receives the message. As soon as receiver receives the message, he decodes it. Decoding is the opposite process of encoding. Then when receiver understands the message, he gives feedback. Feedback means a response to the sender. Even after sending a response to the sender, receiver stores that message into his mind, into his brain, and whenever it is necessary, he recalls it. It is called retrieving. And the last point is that context. It means that references. According to required references, receiver gives feedback in future also. याचा थोडक्यात अर्थ आपण असं समजूयात की कम्युनिकेशन होत असताना किमान 2 व्यक्तींची गरज असते, एक सेंडर आणि दुसरा रिसीवर. सेंडर हा मेसेज रिसीवरला पाठवतो, रिसीवर तो मेसेज घेतो, त्याला रिस्पॉन्स देतो आणि तो स्टोअरही करून ठेवतो आणि भविष्यात जेव्हा त्याची गरज असते तेव्हा तो त्याला रिट्रीव्ह करत असतो, अर्थात त्या संदर्भानुसार. Now we have to see the types of communication. If we try to see these types of communication with the help of this diagram, communication is divided into 2 sections: external communication and internal communication. External communication means when a person talking with another person who is not the part of that organization or outsider of that organization, it is called external communication. Internal communication, when the communication is going on within the organization, is called internal communication. Now this internal communication is divided into 3 subtopics. It is based on relationship, based on form, and based on direction of flow. Based on relationship, it means that we have to see what kind of relations these two persons have. It has either the formal relationship or informal relationship. Second is based on form. That is, either this communication is in written form or oral form. And the third point is that direction of flow. It is divided into again in three sections. It is vertical, horizontal, or diagonal. Now vertical communication means that either the higher authority talking with lower authority, or the lower authority is talking with the higher authority. It's called vertical communication. Horizontal communication, when the communication is going on between two persons having the same level of authority. And the third one is that diagonal communication. This is the communication between two persons belonging to organization and holding two different level of authorities. It is called diagonal communication. या टाइप्स ऑफ कम्युनिकेशनच्या माध्यमातून आपल्याला हे समजून येतं की एक असतं एक्सटर्नल, जे बाह्य व्यक्तीशी बोललं जातं. इंटरनल, त्याच ऑर्गनायझेशनमध्ये असलेल्या दोन व्यक्तींचे कम्युनिकेशन असतं. मग ते कम्युनिकेशन रिलेशनशिपवरती, फॉर्मवरती किंवा डायरेक्शन ऑफ फ्लो यावरती डिपेंड असतं. रिलेशनशिप म्हणजे फॉर्मल आणि इनफॉर्मल, ज्यालाच आपण औपचारिक आणि अनौपचारिक कम्युनिकेशन किंवा संवाद असं म्हणतो. फॉर्म म्हणजे एक तर ते लेखी स्वरूपामध्ये असतं किंवा तोंडी स्वरूपामध्ये असतं. आणि डायरेक्शन ऑफ फ्लो म्हणजे एक तर ते खालून वर किंवा वरून खाली येतं, म्हणजेच हायर ऑथॉरिटी टू लोअर ऑथॉरिटी किंवा लोअर ऑथॉरिटी टू हायर ऑथॉरिटी. हॉरिझॉन्टल म्हणजे दोन्ही व्यक्ती समान असतात, त्यांच्या ज्या पोस्ट असतात, ऑथॉरिटी असतात, त्या सारख्या असतात. आणि डायगोनल कम्युनिकेशन म्हणजेच दोन व्यक्ती जेव्हा संवाद साधतात तेव्हा ते दोन्ही व्यक्ती भिन्न भिन्न ऑर्गनायझेशनशी रिलेटेड असतात आणि भिन्न पदावरती असतात. याला आपण डायगोनल कम्युनिकेशन असं म्हणतो. आता मुख्य भाग आपल्याला जो बघायचा आहे या चॅप्टरमधला, त्यातला पहिलं सेक्शन जे आहे ते आहे प्रिन्सिपल्स ऑफ इफेक्टिव्ह कम्युनिकेशन. नाव लेट्स ट्राय टू अंडरस्टँड these principles of effective communication. Whenever it is required to communicate, we have to see that our communication should be effective. So how we have to make our communication effective? And for that we have to follow these 16 principles. So let's start with these 16 principles. The first principle is that principle of clarity. It means that our communication should be in a very clear manner. Second principle is that principle of consistency. Consistency means there should be a continuity in our expression, overall objectives, policies, or the programs. Third principle is that principle of completeness and adequacy. We have to see that whenever we are sending some kind of message, it should be in a complete form and it should be a sufficient examples and sufficient knowledge you have to provide it to the receiver. Fourth principle is that principle of information. Information, you have to provide the complete information about that particular subject. Fifth principle is that principle of channel or media adaptation. It means that whatever the medium you are using to convey your message, it should be appropriate so that your message can be reached to the receiver side in a complete manner. Sixth principle is that principle of appropriate time element. It is always you have to remember that you have to consider the time. If you are sending short message, and it should be orally. If you are sending long message, it should be a written. Seventh principle is that principle of integration. Whenever the communication is going on between sender and receiver, there should be a good integration between them so that there will be a good cooperation and proper understanding. Eighth principle is that principle of flexibility. It is sender's responsibility that he should be flexible while sending his message. It means that he has to change himself according to techniques, systems and methods which he is adopting for the purpose of communication. Ninth principle is that principle of informality. Whenever we are at working place, it is essential for us to follow the formal communication method. But it is not necessary that every time you should be a formal. To understand that person, sometimes it is required that you have to communicate with your subordinates with informally also, so that you can get proper feedback from their side. 10th point is that principle of feedback. It is very essential part of communication. Whenever you are communicating, you should expect responses from the receiver side, and for that we have to follow the principle of feedback. 11th principle is that principle of consciousness. Sender has always conscious about his words, about his behavior, about his subject, about his words using, and each and every part, so that his communication will be a more effective. 12th point is that principle of attractiveness. Whenever you are communicating, your speech, your communication should be in an attractive manner to avoid receiver getting bored. Then 13th principle is that principle of correctness. Yes, it is always necessary that whatever the message you are sending, it should be accurate, it should be correct for its authenticity. 14th point is that principle of consideration. What you have to consider? You have to consider the feelings, emotions, and the requirement of sender, and according to that you have to send your message. This is called the principle of consideration. 15th point is that principle of courtesy. Courtesy means politeness. Whenever you are communicating, you should be express your ideas, thoughts, feelings, emotions in a polite manner. Last principle, 16th principle, is that principle of careful use of body language. That whenever you are communicating, you should be aware of your body language. It means that your gestures, postures, facial expressions, you have to use them correctly. तर मित्रांनो, याप्रमाणे हे 16 प्रिन्सिपल्स आहेत, जे आपण जर फॉलो केले तर आपलं कम्युनिकेशन हे जास्तीत जास्त इफेक्टिव्हली होऊ शकतं. आता याच्यानंतर आपल्याला बघायचे ते आहेत ते बॅरियर्स. येस, यू कॅन सी दॅट फोटोग्राफ्स. बॅरियर्स टू इफेक्टिव्ह कम्युनिकेशन. जर तुम्ही अशी तोंडाला पट्टी लावलीत आणि कम्युनिकेशन करायचा प्रयत्न केला तर ते इफेक्टिव्हली होणार नाही. तर असे कोणते बॅरियर्स आहेत ते आपल्याला पाहायचे आणि ते कसे अवॉइड करता येतील ते पण पाहायचं आहे. सो लेट्स स्टार्ट विथ दीज बॅरियर्स. द फर्स्ट बॅरियर इज दॅट फिजिकल बॅरियर. Now physical barrier that is related to body. It is either related to senders or receivers. For example, we can see that loud music, ill healthness, or sleeplessness can create barriers during the communication. As you can see in the first GIF, that these students are doing study, but while doing study they are listening very loud music, and that interrupting their study. The second GIF, you can see that small boy feels sleepy, so he is sleeping in the classroom. So these are called physical barriers. Second barrier is that mechanical barrier. These mechanical barrier are created due to faulty machineries. As you can see that 4 pictures. The first picture, you can see that there is a huge traffic on the road, and if you are talking to someone on the mobile or someone else face to face at roadside, you cannot communicate with that person very smooth manner because of that traffic noise. Second picture, we can see that it is failure of electricity. This family is watching TV, and while watching TV there is a power failure, so it interrupts. Third picture, we can see that the person wants to talk someone on that telephone, but it is faulty, and so he is getting angry and he's putting that handset. And the last one is that it is washing machine. It is faulty, and due to that faulty it is not working in a smooth manner. So because of these machineries, our communication also creates disturbance or barriers. Now let's try to understand psychological barriers. Psychological barriers, it is related to our psychology, that is our brain, our mind, our heart. Now if we see the examples, we can say that self-image, wrong assumptions, wrong presumptions, wrong judgments, or status blocked. Because of that, these psychological barriers can be created. If you see the first picture, it shows that what kind of is going on in our mind or brain. Second chapter, there are two badminton players. They are arguing with each other. Third picture is that it is always create confusion between the snake and the rock. Now look at this. The person feels that it is a snake, but actually it is a rope, not the snake. And the last picture is that, as we know the story of the blind men, those who are try to understand by touching the elephant. These people, those who are touching its trunk, he feels that it is like a pole. The person who is touching with his ear, he feels that it is some instrument which is used in our home, especially in the kitchen. So in this way, if you are assuming something before you start to see it with open eyes, it always creates confusion, and these are all the difficulties related to psychology, and that's why these barriers are called psychological barriers. Now even some language barriers also occurs. Language barriers that is related to the language, it is also called semantic or the language barriers. And these language barriers can be take place with the two persons, those who belong to two different countries and knowing two different language. When they are talking with each other, communicating with each other, they cannot express their feelings. Suppose Indian and Chinese are in front of each others and they are communicating with their own language, so that can be difficulties created during their communication. So it is called language barrier. And the last point is that cultural barrier. Cultural barriers, two different peoples belongs to two different cultures, and that's why some barriers also can be occur or take place. Now see the marriage event, Indian marriage and Western marriage, different methods they are following. The same way we can see about the festivals. Now look at this, our Indian festival Holi and Western festival Christmas. So that kind is the different. For example, I would like to tell you the word mummy. It is a single word, but if we see the same word from British culture, it has different meaning, and if we see the same word with the Greek culture, it has different meaning. If we see try to understand the meaning of this word with English culture, it means that mother. And if we try to understand the meaning of this word with Greek culture, it is the place where the dead bodies are buried. We know that mummies, where the dead bodies are buried and kept for long period. So these are 5 barriers. तर मित्रांनो, याप्रमाणे आपण 5 बॅरियर्स पाहिल्यात. मेकॅनिकल बॅरियर, फिजिकल बॅरियर, सायकोलॉजिकल बॅरियर, लँग्वेज बॅरियर आणि कल्चरल बॅरियर. याप्रमाणे ह्या बॅरियर्स इथे आहेत. तर याप्रमाणे आपण हे पहिलं चॅप्टर इथे आपण समजून घ्यायचा प्रयत्न केला आहे. सो नाव वी विल ट्राय to understand the first chapter with examples. So we will stop here and we'll meet in the next lecture with the same topic, business communication using computers. So we stop here. Thank you.